Okay, welcome back. Today we're going to discuss about the internet vs intranet. In the last class we discussed about the LAN, MAN and WAN. Today we're going to discuss about the internet vs intranet. So what is the internet and what is the intranet? Okay. So internet is used to connect different network of computers simultaneously. It is a public network. Therefore anyone can access the internet. In internet there are multiple users and it provides unlimited number of information to the users. So internet is a global network and it is public network through which you can communicate from one system to another system. Then what about the intranet? Now intranet is the type of internet which is used by privately. It is a private network, therefore anyone cannot access intranet. In intranet, there are a limited number of users and it provides limited number of information to its users. So internet is a public network, anybody can use from any place. But in case of the intranet, it is a purely private network. So let's discuss about the intranet. Suppose there is an office known as the Reliance office is there. The Reliance office is established its own network within their campus, right? So it is a pure intranet service. That means all the employees are communicated with that network system. And again the intranet also connected to the internet. Suppose anybody is placed within a particular intranet and wants to connect with an internet service, then it will be happen. But internet is a purely private network. That means nobody other than the company's employees is allowed to access that intranet service. It is a purely private network. Suppose there are 2-3 sister concern of one organization and they want to connect all the organization to one network, in its own network right now. So there is intranet system is there through which you can connect with all the systems, all the offices, all the organizations are connected with each other, right? So that is a purely private network, and internet, it is a public network. Clear? Next is here we are going to discuss about two architecture, client server architecture and the peer-to-peer architecture. These two type of architecture are used in the computer system. First is your client server architecture. This architecture is used nowadays very popularly because the client server network model is widely used network model. Here server is a powerful system that stores the data information in it. On the other hand, the client is the machine which later users access the data on the remote server. So here in the picture, here is the server. What is the client server architecture? Now here is the server. This is the one machine. It is one computer which its configuration is very high compared to these all computers. Clear? And these all computers are the general purpose computers. This is the client. This is client 2. This is client 3. This is client 4. And this is the client 5. So all the computers are connected with these machines. That means this is a machine, acts as a server which provides a service to different machine. Suppose client 1, that means this terminal having no own CPUs is there. You can say it is a terminal. There is no own CPUs. Right now, there are no CPUs is there, only terminal, keyboard, mouse, that much. And all systems are connected with that server. Right? Now, whatever softwares are using, that will be placed within this server. Whatever the results are coming from after the processing, it will store within that server. So it is the advantage is that now the maintenance of these computers will be reduced. Because within this system, within this server, every softwares are present within this. Manpower will be reduced because only suppose you are maintain all the standalone pieces. Standalone pieces means all the computer having own CPUs, own everything. So to maintain all the computers, more number of manpower is required. So reduce that manpower this architecture is adopted. That means there is only single system. Within that system, all softwares and hardwares are present, and clients only send the request to the server. Server full processing that request and return back to the result of that request to the respective client. Similar, like you move to the ATM machine, right? You insert your card, then access for the PIN number. So that means there is a server, there is a machine which control entire computer system. Because your ATM machine is simply a terminal. There is no own decision capacity. Whatever data you are feeding, that means your PIN number, everything, that is controlled by in a single computer, that is known as the server system. Clear? That means that here the server is more powerful system that stores the data information in it. On the other hand, the client is the machine which let users access the data on the remote side. Client is server is placed in one area, client is all placed in one area. That means both the client and server present as a in the remote manner, right now. But accessing is happened. That means client can access the server, server also interact with that client. This is the client server architecture. Next is that is the peer-to-peer architecture. Unlike client server, the peer-to-peer model does not distinguish between client and server. Instead, each node can either be a client or a server depending on whether the node is requesting or providing the services. Each node is considered as a peer. Peer-to-peer communication here in the client server architecture, one single machine has a powerful system. It's provide all the service to the different client. But here the peer-to-peer service area or peer-to-peer structure, every computer has its own power. That means each computer behaves as a server and the client. There is no intermediate devices there to control all the devices, right? Every device has its own power to as a server, as a client. When this machine sends a request to this area, then now this device is a server and this is a client. On the other hand, when this device sends a request to this is now a server, this is a client. So every system has its own power, become a server and as a client. So the peer-to-peer model does not distinguish between client and server. Instead, each node can either be a client or a server depending on whether the node is requesting or providing the services. Each node is considered as a peer. Clear? So these are the two structures are used in the nowadays. The client server architecture is most adaptable, because what is the problem, or sorry, what is the advantage of this concept, that there is everything is loaded in this server in the system. The manpower is reduced. It's the big advantage, because there is only one administrator, there is one engineer who is maintains the server. There is no need to maintain all the client sides, because client side means only the terminal, that means a keyboard and a mouse and the monitors, that much. Nothing is there. That means that no CPUs, nothing is there. All the servers control everything. Yeah, the disadvantage there is that if this machine is there's some problem with this machine, then the all systems going to be crashed. So for this backup, that's it, for the backup process, the number of the servers are there for your backup process. For this server, there is another server as a backup. For another server, use as a backup. So these are the advantage point. But here is the problem is that the number of the main thing is the manpower is required to maintain all the systems, because every system having own its CPUs and own terminal, own monitor, everything is there right now. So that is the problem, because you have to maintain all the devices. Okay, so for today's class this much. From next we're going to discuss about the other articles. Okay, so thank you to all.